War Eagle Auburn family and War Eagle E2C Network family, we have got some breaking news. Johni Broome has officially announced that he is returning to the Auburn Tigers. We're going to get into that and lots more implications from that right now here on this impromptu reaction live stream. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us, spending some time talking about something that is in the Auburn experience, whether it's about sports, culture, or just the Auburn family. We're here to talk about it. If it's orange and blue, it is what we do. As I addressed at the start of the show, an impromptu live stream, a reaction live stream where we are just opening up about the news that is official, humongous news for the Auburn men's basketball team. Johni Broome will be back for the 2023-2024 season. So many things around that news to talk about, but we would love to hear your thoughts and your reactions about it as well in the chat if you're watching live, in the comment section if you're watching on the replay. That's what this stream is about, just a few minutes to kind of open up about this particular news item. A couple of things I'd like for you to do for me as we get started, though, today on the stream. Please do, if you enjoyed this type of content, if you think we've earned it, smash that like button. It does help the stream out. If you could also as well, go ahead and post right now. Get your typing fingers ready, your commenting fingers ready, the chat, all that ready. And go ahead and post where you're watching from, your city, your state. If you're international, you can do that with a War Eagle. Your initial reactions. Tell me, what is your initial reaction to this news that Johni Broome is officially going to stay here with the Auburn Tigers, at least for another season. James is here. Devin is here. Good to see you guys popping in. Says Auburn will definitely win the SEC banquet now. I don't know if I would venture that far definitively yet, but this was a humongous step in the right direction for Auburn this season. So let me go ahead and address that. What happens if he doesn't announce today or in days or weeks or whatever, however long it took? Wasn't too much longer he would have to make this decision. Obviously, the sky wouldn't fall. Bruce has proven time and time again that he can go out and find what he needs to be a successful basketball team. But yet again, we sit here at a moment where they really needed something to go their way, and we absolutely had it go our way. Johni Broome decides to stay with the Auburn Tigers for yet another season. Devin says, hearing we might be a lot better on offense, that would be nice. Well, that's obviously speculation right now. We'll have to see if that amounts to anything, and we'll know soon enough. It's going to be a little bit wild till basketball season arrives. Although this year is just flying by, if you haven't figured it out already. We're already in summer, basically, and pretty soon baseball will be over, and we'll be talking about football, and basketball will be fully in swing. Although we're always going to find opportunities to talk about that here. So I'd like to maybe quick poll. I know maybe not live, yes, but even if you're on the replay, initially, did you think Johni was going to come back? Before this news was announced today, maybe going into this weekend, because I feel like a lot of people on message boards and could feel maybe a direction one way or the other. But like coming into this weekend, how did you feel about this? Because the feeling that I got about Johni Broome and his decision was it could literally go either way. I think Johni also had a little bit of fun on social media, just being very vague, saying the announcement's coming, the emoji eyes looking off to the side thing, and Auburn family, ... And people you could see on social media interpreting that several different ways. And rightfully so. It just feels like one of those times, especially with basketball recruiting, where there are a lot of, in some people's eyes, and maybe rightfully so, misses on the recruiting transfer portal trail, that this would have been the last nail, or so to speak, in the coffin of things not going our way. But we do that there. According to Bruce Pearl, who's already tweeted it out about this, and obviously their social media team has done their due diligence about all this too, noted that he was likely going to go in the second round in the NBA draft, and obviously could have done very well with that. And I wouldn't have blamed him if he had decided to do that. However, the decision apparently, according to Bruce Pearl, if I remember the tweet off the top of my head, was centralized around obviously what they could accomplish as a team this year, but also what they could accomplish or what he could accomplish for himself given one more year. I think what Johni Broome showed this spring leading into summer with NBA draft, the combine process, the G League. We saw all the highlights. Auburn basketball did a great job. It's funny, and I love this. You see Auburn basketball social media accounts promoting the guy, how well he's doing the G League. He's like, don't you want him to come back? But this is what I love about Coach Pearl. This is what I love about this team, the way the program's ran. We want these guys to succeed. And if that means leaving Auburn, so be it. Because if you are successful, this team is going to also vicariously benefit from your success. Just look at Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler, Chuma Okeke, Isaac Okoro, JT Thor, even Sharif Cooper at the G League level is still getting notoriety. When they succeed, we succeed. So we want to root for that. But thankfully, we are going to be having this guy back for yet another year. WT also says that he thinks we'll sweep with Broome in the fold. I see what you did there. Very good. Very good. WT did not think he was coming back at all. I'll be honest with you. I flipped back and forth on this a lot. I truly did. I truly thought one morning, he's coming back. I figured that what we know now, the type of evaluations about second round and stuff, and it'd be too enticing for him to come back. But it's always one of those things. The longer it takes, the more you're worried about, well, what news are they getting? What great news for themselves are they getting that you could be taken higher? What I love to see, though, and this is not a knock on anybody that did maybe leave too early. I love it when guys who could get some money now, could get an opportunity to go ahead and go into the NBA on some level, take that extra year and come back and maximize their opportunities. Johni Broome, I think this is going to be one of the smartest decisions that he has ever made in his life. Delaying gratification, so to speak. Now, yes, we've got NIL, and I'm sure that played a part into helping his decision process, which is what it's there for. But I really do think that this will be one of the best decisions that he could have made for himself, to still get supported by NIL, play one more year of college basketball, prove that my time at what was it? I can't even remember the conference that he was a part of, but over there at his previous team, I'm blanking on all of that information right now. But either way, that wasn't a fluke. Got to Auburn, it translated over here, and it wasn't just a fluke this one year. Come back and do it again in the SEC and be an all-conference type of player. Yeah, he's gonna make bank if he does that and stays healthy. Obviously, there's risk involved, right? But still, incredible news. Marcus is excited. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Having Auburn basketball players be successful going to the NBA only helps our recruiting and transfer portal. Auburn is being seen as a place that will put you in the NBA. In terms of talking about this too, about where we worried that he was going to leave, you didn't really hear a lot of speculation about Auburn going after any big men in the portal. And also with, not that this would really affect, with Peyton Marshall, the 7'1", I think, something like that. Very tall, very big center deciding to decommit. You almost wondered, even though they weren't going to overlap, how all that plays. And you just thought if you would hear more information about that, this player's coming in, we're looking at this player for this year, that maybe Johni was getting a little bit closer to making that decision to leave Auburn. But thankfully, for our benefit, he did not, because had he decided to, you wonder what happens. Not that we're not capable and don't have people that are talented here. Dylan Cardwell, Jalen Williams, which, has anybody heard if Jalen Williams has announced officially that he's coming back, or is it just a foregone conclusion at this point? Because he's another guy I'm really rooting for. But if it is as we expect, Johni and Jalen back in the front court together, it's going to be a thing of beauty. This makes me feel so much better about our team. I have faith in Cardwell, but we have no one behind him. And I think that, I'm glad you brought that up, Wiz Dragon. I think this is a great way to look at this. When we are excited about Johni Broome, and when we often say things like, thank goodness he decided, it's not even so much a reflection on Dylan, but the group as a whole. What happens if Dylan is the guy then and gets hurt? Jalen's got to play center. What else? I mean, I'm not have the roster fresh in my mind right now, but you're kind of lacking in the big guy area. Yeah, Devin, I thought Jalen. I'm pretty sure he's coming back, but I just didn't know if there was an official announcement on that. But that's a great way to look at it, the Wiz Dragon, in terms of what happens when one of these guys go down. So now, if Johni were to get hurt, if heaven forbid, Dylan were to get hurt, you're not lacking in the center department in terms of not having a true center. Big get for the Auburn Tigers, along with supposedly and speculatively better offense coming in terms of guard play. That's at least what people seem to think. This could be the recipe that kind of puts all the pieces together, because most of the year you saw pretty decent play overall from your big men, mainly speaking about Johni and Jalen, but you throw Dylan in there as well. Those guys were ones that were really leaning hard on the entire season, and at times was lacking in the guard scoring space. So we'll see if that translates over this year. But a huge piece to the puzzle, Johni Broome is coming back as well. So it seems like everything is coming together. So what does this mean for us for the rest of the time? Let's start rounding out our discussion about this. I think, as we all know, the transfer portal has slowed down for basketball, and it doesn't seem like there's much else out there going on outside of traditional recruiting and people coming in for visits or getting offers or naming their top 10, so to speak. It doesn't feel like at this point we're going to bring anybody else in. If I'm correct in the numbers on the roster right now, this puts us with 1 to 2 extra scholarships. I feel like it's 2, but to me, maybe it's 1. So you may still see one more other person brought into the fold to help round out the roster, at least depth wise. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it that much. Thomas, good to see you. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks for stopping by on this stream. When other fan bases are upset and cracking jokes, you know you're making the right decision. I think he can play into the first round, as Bruce tweeted. I got to be honest with you. It's just so nice to see. And I think coaches always do this, are supportive of their guys if you're a good coach. But also, I like for them to be so open about it. Celebrate them. I'm sure Bruce had a hand in dictating that his social media team, his creative team, support this guy when he's in the G League tearing it up. We don't want him to leave, but we want him to succeed, right? So there you go. Did Bucky's anyone else heard that his decision to come back was because Auburn had a Bucky's there? You had to work it in there, didn't you? I'm sure NIL, I'm sure that played a role, but I have no information other than that. Of what the NIL entailed for him to come back. All I know is that our centerpiece, Johni Broome, is here for this next season. Huge get. It's got to stay healthy, utilize him properly, and get him and the rest of the front court, the big guys, support Jalen, Dylan Cardwell. So excited. I'm knocking things around. All those things. All right. I told you this was going to be a very quick live stream just because I wanted to get something out there about the breaking news. We do have another live stream coming up next. So let me give you that information, and then we'll take some last minute comments and questions that you guys might have on this topic. Coming up next tonight, if you're watching live, especially, you can take advantage of this. We have a live stream about the Auburn baseball regional, talking about the teams that were coming up. That's coming up at 8:15 tonight. So please join us. In fact, if you'll stay at the end of the stream, you can head over to that page. It should take you right over there to hit the like button, hit the notify me bell so you can be a part of that. Want to hear some of y'all's thoughts about that. And we'll start our coverage of baseball this week as well. You could be a subscriber. You could be a channel member. You could be a Booster Club member. All those things are listed in the description. And one last thing, I'm wearing an Auburn basketball shirt from Alumni Hall, who we're an affiliate with. If you guys are interested in this particular shirt, you can kind of see it right there. I'll put the link in as the very first link in the description of this video. If you do that, it does help support us by supporting them. So those are my plugs for you in this stream. What else have you guys got in? People checking in here. Plainsman Mirth, good to see you so much. And Rob, here's Johni. Devin says they don't have any women's baseball shirts. I unfortunately I did see that, but search around real hard. Sometimes there's a few items in there that maybe don't seem like they fit everybody, but just check it out just in case. And here's the big thing: if you're on campus with Alumni Hall, they've got a lot of options in store too that you need to check out too. But if you can, please do support us by supporting them. Rounding out our conversation here, the breaking news: Johni Broome returns for the 2023-24 season, effectively completing the big men for Auburn, giving them that centerpiece that they need offensively, defensively at that position, providing support alongside Dylan Cardwell and Jalen Williams. And when you factor in the success that Auburn had with the transfer portal at the guard, small forward position, this could shape up to be a scary, scary good team that maybe would push people for the SEC. We'll see. We'll talk about it as we get closer and closer. And we just wanted to hop on and talk about all of these news items when we can for you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on this live stream. Hope to see you around the channel. If not, on our next upcoming live stream in about an hour, well, 30 minutes or so, to talk about some Auburn baseball in the regional that's coming soon. Until I get to talk to you guys again, War Eagle.